Okay, so in the last session, what we discussed about the historical background of SCCM. Then we discussed about the certification, opportunities with SCCM, training duration and all. Then we discussed about site. SCCM has three major sites: primary, secondary, and central administration site. And then we discussed about the hierarchy in SCCM, also the diagram, and the capability of SCCM. This one. Okay. Now today what we are going to do is to see how what are the different site roles in SCCM. Okay. So SCCM site roles. MS Paint. Okay. So there are multiple site roles in SCCM. Each role has its purpose and its functionality is defined. Okay. So let's begin with the first role in SCCM, that is management point. This is one of the very important role, eh, or you can say crucial role in SCCM. What is this management point? Anyone knows?
No idea, guys.
So the management point, you can consider management point as a communication bridge between the devices and the server. So let's say you have thousands and thousands of devices, and on all those devices SCCM agent is installed, right? Now
Yeah.
in order to communicate with the SCCM server, the agent needs a gateway, right, where it can communicate with the server. How it can communicate? So it communicates through MP, that is called management point. So SCCM server takes the data from the management point, and the devices hi, sorry, got disconnected. Okay, so the devices reaches management point to get the policy and all types of communication with the server, and the server will take the data from management point. So this is acting like a communication bridge between the server and the client. Clear? Then you have the second important role in SCCM, that is distribution point. Anyone knows distribution point? Well,
Actually, distribution point is used to carry the content uh, for the server and workstation.
right. So distribution point is nothing but a warehouse or a go down, you can say, where the files or application or software or patches, operating system files, all those things will be present, and the devices will take the data from the distribution point. So if you're sending Google Chrome to 10,000 devices, so Google Chrome, you need to send it to the distribution point, and the devices will take Google Chrome application setup file from the nearest distribution point. Okay, so what will happen? Let's say you have multiple location: Mumbai, Hyderabad, Chennai, London, Paris. Now, in each region, you have like let's say 1,000 devices in each region, right? And you have your SCCM server on the top, right? Somewhere in New York, SCCM primary site. Now, the devices which are in Mumbai, how they are making the connection with SCCM server? Is it on LAN or WAN? Hmm?
From the van.
Yes,
Sorry,
Van
pressing ban.
connection.
Ban.
WAN.
Yeah.
Yeah, wide area network. It is not directly connected. It is going through the internet connection on the WAN network. So imagine if you need to deploy Google Chrome to all the computers in Mumbai, London, Hyderabad, Paris, Budapest. So 5,000 devices will make the connection to SCCM New York server. 5,000 devices. What will happen? Your network bandwidth will choke up. You will not be able to communicate anything. You will not be able to work. So all network bandwidth will choked up, right? So in order to reduce the network traffic, what we do, instead of sending the device, instead of asking the devices to reach the server, we set up a distribution point in each region, which is available on the local LAN network. So Mumbai distribution point, London distribution point, Hyderabad distribution point, Paris distribution point, and Budapest distribution point. Now, in order to take the Google Chrome, SCCM will make only 5 connection. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So imagine previously it was making 5,000 connection. Now it is making only 5 connection. So it will definitely help you, and the data transfer will happen properly. It won't choke up the network. And the devices which is in Mumbai, they will take the data from here. London will take the data from here. Hyderabad will take the data from here. Paris will take from here, and Budapest will take it from here. Clear?
Yes. Yes.
So this is SCCM distribution point. Now the third role in SCCM is software update point. So basically this is needed for patching. Okay, so without this you will not be able to patch your devices. Okay, so this is needed for uh, patch deployment. Okay, so you have your SCCM server, and then you have your WSUS server, and you have your Microsoft update server. These are the 3 things needed for patch deployment. So SCCM server, then WSUS, which is the backbone of patching. Without WSUS you cannot patch any device. And this is your Microsoft update server. This contains all the updates. Now what happens, WSUS makes a connection with Microsoft update server, and for SCCM it needs a role to integrate WSUS in SCCM. So software update point will be installed here, and it will communicate with WSUS. So in the backend, WSUS will be working, but the front end will be software update point. So anything which you want to configure, you configure here, and it will take the data and apply it, give the instruction to WSOS, and WSOS will be working in the backend. So this was the third major role in SCCM.
Okay, Kasi?
Kasi,
Yeah.
oh, Microsoft in the sense like, so whenever they release, it's downloading from the Microsoft servers, right? It's
Yes.
not
Yes.
like it's not any internal server, so
No. No.
we are downloading.
Internet server.
So the from Microsoft, so the patches will be downloaded to the local WSCS server. From that, so it will be updated in SUV, right?
Right.
So we call it as a SUG also, right? So I heard the name while we are
Software
doing.
update
I mean,
group.
like, okay,
SUG.
so we
Right.
have, yep, today we have done the patching for some
Okay.
of 1500 servers.
Okay. So basically, in the backend, WSOS is the one which is working in the backend, but front end you integrated WSOS in SCCM. So let's say update and security. If I click on, it is already updated. So if I click on update, right now I don't have update option because it is already updated to the latest one. Then it will go to the Microsoft update server and bring the patches. Similarly, WSOS also goes to Microsoft update server and bring the patches. Okay. Now the fourth important fallback status point. Fourth important role in SCCM is fallback status point. This is for high reliability. Let's say you have primary site server here and you have your secondary site somewhere in Mumbai, London, and Hyderabad. So let's say Mumbai, London, and Hyderabad. And each region has a secondary site. And this is your SCCM primary site. So in each region, so secondary site 1, secondary site 2, secondary site 3. Now the devices in Mumbai will communicate with which one? Secondary site 1. Devices in London will communicate with secondary site 2. Hyderabad will secondary site 3. And all these secondary site will report to primary site, right? Now in suppose this management point is crashed. Sorry, this secondary site is crashed, and the devices in this Mumbai is not able to communicate with this server. So what will happen at that point of time? So it will look for any other site which has a fallback status point installed. If that role is installed either here or here or here, so it will take the data from here rather than communicating here. After a certain period of time, it will go to different site. So it will look for the fallback status point location and get the data. Got it?
Yeah, Kasi, if the devices will look for the fallback status point or
The
complete
devices.
site. Okay.
Now the point number 5, application catalog website point and application catalog web service point. Now these are the two roles in SCCM. Basically, the first one, application catalog website point, is to create a website. Just understand this. I'll create one website for the user. User can come to this website. Okay, the website address can be something like www.internalapplicationstore.com. So user can come to this website and they will have So the first role is to create this website. The second role is to integrate this website with SCCM. So you can have the application published in SCCM, and same thing can be shown up here in the website. So through SCCM you can publish the application in this website, and for that you need application catalog web service point. So user can come here and click on this, and it will get downloaded or installed in their computer. User will be able to do the this is called self service portal. So without any intervention, user will not have to call help desk or desktop team to do the installation. Rather, user can do it himself. Clear?
So it's kind of a Play
Play
Store or
Store.
something, right?
Play Store, yes. Internal Play Store.
Okay.
So it can improve the user productivity. So rather than waiting, user can get the application from there. Then reporting services point. Now as the name says, reporting services point, this is nothing but to get the report from SQL database. So you have your SCCM and your database here. So SCCM server, you have your database server. Now from database, you install this reporting services point on database. It does not install on the SCCM server. Understand? It can only install on the database because it is something related to database reporting services point. Now what will happen? This will fetch the data. This role will fetch the data from database server and integrate in SCCM. So from SCCM you can export the data. You can browse the report and get the report done. So this is for reporting services point. Now point number 8, endpoint protection point. This one is basically to deploy antivirus. Like I have this one. I think this one is semantic, or I don't know what exactly is this, or defender.
Defender, Windows.
Defender, yeah, defender. This is the defender. So similarly, you have endpoint protection. You can deploy this endpoint protection to all the devices, and all the devices will have um, the application installed, and you can uh, get the application free from virus, or you can protect your computer from any malware attack or something. Then you have service connection point. This is also important. So this is your SCCM server, and this one is your cloud Microsoft server. Microsoft server, and this is your SCCM server. What you do, you install service connection point here. So service connection point, what it does exactly, it actually keeps on communicating with Microsoft server, and any new update, for example, any new update comes in um, regarding SCCM, it will give you a pop-up notification that a new update is available, and then you can download and install the new update, right? And this one is also needed for Intune, for mobile device management. You can manage um, mobile devices, iPad, iPhone, Windows phone, Android. You can manage through Intune. So for that, you need a service connection point role. Unable to listen your voice. Pawan, can you rejoin? Guys, are you Balakishore and Shubham? Are you able to hear me properly?
Yes, Kauf. Yes, Kauf. I think he's having
Yes,
some
yes,
problem,
I'm
right?
able to. Yes.
Pawan, please join again. Okay, so that's for that's to keep your SCCM up to date. Uh, State migration point. State migration point. What is this? State migration point is nothing but it actually helps you to capture the current user setting when you are migrating user from one operating system to another operating system. So let's say you one user is on Windows 7, and now you are migrating user to Windows 10, right? So in between you have a state migration point. So we call it state migration point, which will actually capture the user and device setting and network setting. It will capture user, device, network settings. And once the migration job is completed, it will reapply the setting here in the newly migrated operating system. So let's say it is now Windows 10. So it will reapply the set user, network, and device related settings so that user does not lose anything. That's called state migration point. Asset intelligence synchronization point. So point number 11. What is this asset intelligence synchronization point? Any idea, guys?
No, I do not have any idea.
Okay. Asset intelligence synchronization point is actually taking the data from your inventoried software. Let's say in your company, SCCM has done the inventory and it found 100,000 softwares, right? Google Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, VLC Media Player, UC Browser, uh, multiple applications. So 10,000, 100,000 softwares it found in all the devices in your company. Now, what SCCM does is, what this role does is, you have your SCCM server, you install one role here called Asset Intelligence Synchronization Point, and that will communicate with Microsoft Update Server. Not Update Server, sorry, it is Microsoft Synchronization Point. So Microsoft, and in here from the cloud, it will, it will take the data, all the 100,000 softwares, and sync it with Microsoft, and then Microsoft give the data back. Microsoft will give the data back in the categorized format. So let's say they will give the data in such a way like blocks. So those 100,000 software will be categorized in this way: browser, player, then uh, finance application. So in here, what will happen? You will have Chrome, you will have UC browser, you will have IE, you will have Firefox, you will have Safari. All types of browser will be categorized in one family. So this is called one family, browser family. then window media player, then VLC media player, then MX player, right? All types of player will be categorized and given. For finance, you have SAP, you have uh, I don't know, ERP, okay, Infor, Infor. So it will categorize the application in this fashion and give you the data that browser has your company has 5 different browser, Google Chrome, UC, and it will categorize in that fashion.
So where we can see that categorized form in system? I
In the
mean,
console,
from
SCCM console itself,
okay, got it.
and the report as well. You can get the report of. Now, SMS provider.
Okay.
What is SMS provider? Any idea, guys? These roles are very important to understand. Then only you will be able to relate the things later. So, SMS provider is nothing but sitting in between SCCM and database. It is taking the data from SCCM and putting it into in database. So SMS provider. So it takes the data from SCCM server and process it to database. So SCCM does not write anything directly to database. It gives it to the SMS provider, and SMS provider gives it to the database. Clear, guys?
Yes, it's clear for me.
So I'm trying to put it as simple as I can. So stop me if you do not understand anything. I think I have completed all of them, all the roles. So we discussed about management point, right? We discussed about distribution point. We discussed about fallback status point, asset intelligence synchronization point. Then we discussed about reporting services point, endpoint protection, SMS provider, service connection point, software update point, application catalog website point, and application catalog web service point, state migration point. System health, my validator point is no more used now, so I'm not going to give you any details. So it is stopped from my in the newer version of SCCM. So these were the roles.
Hey, Kasif.
Yeah,
Hey, Kasif, on doubt on SMS provider. So you said that so it will take the data from SCCM and it will write it on the database. Like what kind of data? Is it device informations or any
device
software
information,
information?
software deployment information, device hardware inventory, software inventory, every types of data it will take from SCCM. SCCM will put it to the database through SMS provider.
Okay.
Okay, so now what we are going to do is, so we discussed about SCCM site roles now. So let me, sorry, I have all the, I have mentioned all the definition one by one. Okay, so if you want to go through this document, I have uploaded it to Google Drive here. I'll share the link with you guys today, wherein all the photos, yesterday we drew some photos and some we have yesterday video here. I'll share the link with you guys. You can get it from here. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
now so we new. Okay, now what is our next step? So what we are going to do is to have our uh, software and hardware requirement for SCCM. Now, first, before we Usama Sheikh. Hey, who is this Usama Sheikh? Is it Javed? Hello. Hello, Usama. Hello. Hello, Osama.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Give me 1 minute. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So, give me a minute, please.
Hello.
Sorry, guys. I was receiving multiple calls. Okay. So, who is this Osama? Is it Javed who joined yesterday, or you are joining for the first time, Osama? Hello. Can you say something?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir. Sir, I am joining for the first time only. Today is my first lecture.
First lecture. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So, okay. So, are you the same guy uh who who were talking to
Yeah,
me on WhatsApp?
yes. I'm the same guy. I'm talking on the WhatsApp only for using on smartphone.
Okay.
I'm using on smartphone only Go Meeting app.
Okay. Fine. Okay. We can discuss. Okay. You can put yourself on mute if you're not speaking, because I'm getting
Okay,
background.
okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir. I'm putting my cell phone on mute.
Okay. So software and hardware requirement for SCCM. Now, I want to ask you guys, what are we going to do? Which site we should be deploying in our lab? Which one? Uh, Balakishore?
Yes, Kasif.
Is
Sorry
it?
to interrupt you, but your voice is very low.
Am I not audible, guys?
Uh, for me, not audible.
For other people?
It's very slow.
Yeah,
Or
we are clear, Kashif. Like for me, it's clear for your voice.
Okay, I think you need to increase the volume of your speaker, please.
it's on 100%.
Okay, I'm on my, I think it is other people. How about other people? Are they able to hear me properly, or they are also?
Yes, sir.
Kasif,
We can
for
hear you
me,
properly.
yeah,
Okay,
Kasif, it's fine for me.
okay.
yes, it's fine for me as well.
So you can check your speaker setting, or you can rejoin to refresh the connection.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So which site we should be deploying in our lab? So yesterday we discussed about CAS, primary, and secondary. Now tell me, Balakishore or
Hello.
anyone, which site we will be choosing in our lab.
We will be choosing your primary sites.
Right. We'll be going with primary site because our lab will have only 3 devices or 4 devices or maximum 10 devices, right? Not more than that. CAS comes
Yeah.
into the picture when you have more than 100,000 devices all over the globe. Secondary site comes into the picture when you have the devices in remote location. So we don't have secondary site requirement, and we don't have central administration site requirement. We will be going with primary site. Later we can see whether secondary is needed, then we can do it later. But for now, we will be going with primary site. So we will go with primary site. Now, software and hardware requirement for um, primary site. So for primary site, software requirement. Basically, you need Windows Server 2000, 2008 R2 and above. Okay, any Windows Server which is 2012 2008 R2 and above is capable of handling a primary site. Primary site can be installed on that server. Then you need to have SCCM setup, right? Whether it is 2012, 2012 or above. But we will go with Sccm 1606. That's the little that's the latest version, which was released in June 2016. Okay, 2 years back.
Okay.
Okay, 2012 is pretty old now, and most of the organization have already migrated from 2012 to the newer version. Then we need SQL database. The SQL database is anything which is SQL Server 2012 and above or above. We will use SQL Server 2014 SP2. But you can choose anything. But for a 1606, you need 2014. For 2012, you can go with 2012 SQL database. Clear? Then you need WADK. This contains boot images. This contains your boot images to help deploy OS using OS on the network. So network boot can happen if you are deploying operating system uh, through SCCM. So basically, these are the things, software stuff needed. Now let's discuss about the hardware requirement. Hardware.
Now, like, do we have any specific SCCM servers for the specific SQL database? Like for
No, 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 no.
2016, we are using 2012, and for that 2018,
You can anything which
what we
is
have to use?
Microsoft gives you the baseline.
What's the complete?
So Microsoft
Okay, so
gives you
what's
the
the like, mhm.
Microsoft gives you the baseline for 1606 SCCM. You go with SQL 2014 and above. For SCCM
Okay,
2012, you go with SCCM 2000 SQL 2012 and above. For
okay,
primary site
uh,
deployment, you have to install on Windows Server, which is 2008 R2 and above. Got it?
okay. So we can, okay,
That's the baseline. If you go down from the baseline, you will not be able to do it. You at least have to be on the baseline or upper side of the baseline. Okay.
okay,
Now for hardware requirement, you CPU. What is the CPU needed? It is at least 1.4 gigahertz processor speed. Then you have RAM. At least you need 2 GB of RAM. Then you need hard disk, at least 300 GB, sorry, not 300, 550 GB hard disk, free space. Got it? For this is for hardware requirement for SCCM. So hardware requirement for SCCM primary site. We are talking about primary side, software plus hardware, anything. We are not talking about cache. Okay. Now hardware requirement for SQL database. CPU can be same, but the memory RAM, you need at least 8 GB of RAM. Got it? This is the minimum requirement as per Microsoft suggestion. Clear? Now
Yes.
what we are going to do, let me save this so that you can, I'll put it on the Google Drives. From there you can download it. Save as. Uh,
Asif, how about the space for a SQL? Maybe I know. It's just the same or 50 KB of RAM.
50 gigabyte is more than sufficient for SQL, because it normally takes maximum 10 gigabyte, not more than that.
Okay.
Now the what we are going to do is the lab setup. SCCM primary site lab setup. Now we discussed about two types of lab, local lab setup, and we discussed about cloud
Azure
lab
cloud.
setup, Azure. We will be setting up our servers in cloud. Now in for primary site lab setup, we will have one LAN network. This will be your LAN network, the network cable. You will have your SCCM server, you will have your database server, and you will have your domain controller, and you may have one more server. All will be joined to the same LAN network, connected to the same LAN network, right? So you have your SCCM server, the DB server, DC server, domain controller, and other device. All will be connected on the same LAN network. Similarly, whether we are going on cloud whether we are going on virtual machine, as in local lab setup, we'll be doing the same setup. Clear? Any question, guys? Is my voice clear? I think Pawan, you were facing problem to hear me.
Not now, sir. Not now. I'm okay. I'm okay with your voice.
Okay, very good. Now tell me, who has Shubham or Pawan, do you guys have credit card? Because on Azure, it asks you for the credit card detail, not to charge you anything, just for the verification purpose. It won't charge anything. It is Microsoft, so you can trust the website.
Yeah, I have created Azure account today itself.
You have, okay. So
Yeah,
do you have the $200 credit there?
yeah, it's 13,500 something in
Very good,
INR.
very good. Now basically what you need to do, guys, um, you need to go to Google, and in here you go to Azure free trial, and you look for this one, create your Azure free account. Balakishore, you there?
Yes, and their internet got, I mean, like
Okay,
power is gone, like internet disconnected. I'm connecting
okay,
from mobile.
fine, no worries. So you need to go to this website wherein you have your, you need to click on this start free. Now if you don't have Microsoft account, you can create one from here. I would suggest create one to start the fresh and setup rather than using your old account. So create an account, then you go with the installation, with the account setup process. You need to give your email address, next, then it will ask you for the phone number. Make sure you give the proper phone number detail, because it will send you an OTP on your mobile device and you will have to verify. And then it will ask you for the credit card. When it asks for the credit card, you give the credit card details, or it won't let you in. It will only for the verification. Don't worry, it won't charge you anything. Okay, and then you will be able to set up your Azure account. So I think, if I do, you have Azure portal open, Shubham?
Mm,
You created the account, right? Who created the account, Pawan or Shubham?
Shubham has created.
I have created the account.
Shubham, I'll make you presenter. You can show us the portal.
1 second. Just
Hmm.
okay. 1 second. Just let me open it first.
Sure, no worries. So you will get something like, I don't know whether I have my account, portal.azure.com. Let's see. Yeah, I think I have my account here. So guys, you will get something like this. When you go to this Microsoft Azure portal, portal.azure.com, this is the website. After subscribing with Azure, when you put all the details and everything, your account will be set up and you will get 13,300 credit. Right now I don't have any credit because it was an I have already used that amount. So um, my I'm running out of this credit. So, but the portal is same. Then you can go to virtual machine at the left hand side, and we'll be creating virtual machine from tomorrow. Okay, so we will be setting up our virtual lab in here in this environment. Also, we'll be creating a virtual network, as we discussed about this line. This line, this virtual network will be created out here, and then we'll be setting up our virtual machines in here, and that's how we will have all our servers ready. Clear, guys?
Okay.
Now, so I want you
Okay.
guys, I want every one of you to create your Azure account and make sure you give all the details properly so that you can get 13,300 credit and that you can use within 30 days. Okay. And from tomorrow when we meet, we'll start the setup. But I think you were the who was going to do the local setup? Balakishore, right?
Yes, Kasif.
Okay, Balakishore, then you don't need to down set up this because we will go on local setup for you. And Shubham and Pawan, you guys, since you guys don't have good configuration of computer, you will need to go on cloud. So you both need to perform this step. I think Shubham already did. You, Pawan, you need to perform this.
Yes, I will do.
Okay. So the only person who is going to do this setup is Pawan. Shubham already completed this step, and Balakishore, you don't need it. Balakishore, what I want you to do is to keep these things downloaded before tomorrow's session. So important important link. Forward. Now this has um, links for multiple things. So you need to download Balakishore. You need to download Windows Server 2000. Shit, it's coming very weird here. Okay, VMware,
Okay.
VMware, Windows Server 2012
Decline.
R2, and you need
Okay.
to download SQL Server 2014 SP2 and Sccm 1606. Pawan and uh,
Shubham.
Shubham, you don't need to do this because I'll be guiding you tomorrow. But this is only for Bala Kishore. Bala, what is your email ID, Bala?
It's BALU
LU.
BHI. It's not there. BHI MABA. Let me ping on the chat. Okay, MABA. B for victory.
Hmm.
RA PU02 at gmail.com.
Okay.
Hey, Kasif, I have already, like 2012 R2 standard edition and VMware desktop version. Like,
Mm-hmm. You already have,
so
but we need the data center one. We can use a standard edition as well. That's not a problem. But in data center edition,
I
we get. Yeah, go ahead.
no problem. I can reimage it because I already have the version, which 180 days trial version with the
Okay.
complete suite.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So currently I'm already installed with the standard, so I'll reimage it data center.
Fine. So you download other things. Like if you already have VMware and Windows Server, you don't need to download again, but you need to download SP2, SQL, and SCCM 2016, 1606.
It'll ask for any licensing or something,
No,
or
no, no,
it's a
no, no.
free download?
Free download.
Okay.
Okay. Balakishore, and I will send it to Pawan. What is your email
Yes.
address, Pawan?
WAN.
Hi, Pawan.
N
PA.
PAWAN PAWAN SINGH
Hmm.
LPU @gmail.com.
I don't know why it does not find the Shubham. Okay, I'll forward. Let me do one thing. Rather than doing this, download. Where is download option? Download. And I'll keep this link on the Google Drive, so you can grab it from there. Okay, guys.
Okay, it's great.
So all the files will be saved in here in this location. In you guys will have access. You can download it from here. Okay. So before tomorrow's session, Balakishore, you please download SQL and
Yeah.
SCCM setup. And Pawan and Shubham, I think Shubham does not need to do anything. Pawan, you make sure you create the Azure account.
Yes, I will do.
Okay, guys. So I think I'm done for this session. I'll upload the video on Google Drive and share the link with you guys. So if you guys don't have any question, we can wrap it up now. Okay.
Hey, Kasif, I would suggest, can we make this the call, I mean audio on with phone, any bridge call on a bridge, because sometime
You can
we are
use
facing that
you
voice, voice are not clear. Yeah.
what you can use. You can use Skype. So on Skype, you can call on this number. I'll show you. There you have the number as well in the meeting link.
Yes, yes.
So you can call on that number. That's the using Skype. You can use +1, the US number.
Mm-hmm.
This one, and that's free of cost. You won't be charged anything. You can call this number and then
Okay.
it will ask you for the access code. You use this one, or you can use Hangout to call on this number.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay. Thank you. Okay, I will.
But I think you are the only one who is facing this problem. So looks like there is some issue either with internet or I'm not sure at your
Yes,
end.
might be. Yes.
Okay, guys. So thank you so much for joining the session. I hope the session was informative. We'll meet again same time tomorrow. Okay.
Sure. Thank
Sure.
you.
Thank you, guys. Bye
Sure.
bye. Thank you. Bye.